Thank you. Thank you, Anil. I was a bit wary when I saw Anil come up here, you know. So, good night, my brothers and sisters in Port of Spain. Port of Spain is alive and well. And on April the 28th at 6 p.m., you will see a new government, and the Prime Minister will be no other than Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Tonight, before I start, I know the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, is locked on and listening. Our viewership is high. There's a meeting the PNM is having in Bond Road, and they are struggling to get just over 700 viewers on Facebook. We are over 8,000 and climbing, brothers and sisters. That is the power of our coalition of interests. Before I start, I would like to say good night to so many fantastic people here tonight. I would like to start with Professor Cudjoe. Thank you so much for staying the course with the UNC and really fighting with us for your country, Professor. I would like to say thank you to the PSA Union for staying the course in over 2 years, and other unions like OWTU and President Roger and others who stayed the course with the UNC when we were negotiating behind the scenes for over 2 years. There was a lady there, Felicia Thomas, who is now the president of PSA. At that point in time, she was the first vice president. She said very little in those meetings, very little. So after the meetings, we used to say, I wonder if Felicia knows to talk. But the night I heard her in Grande for Wayne Sturge, I know why she's the president of PSA. And when she became the president of PSA, she supported the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the United National Congress. We say thank you, Felicia, and your team. Brothers and sisters, today we are 5 days away from ending a decade of destruction, decimation, and disregard for our citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Never before has a government hurt so many citizens of this country. Never before has a government broken our national economy, crushed our public services, and treated our national institutions with disdain as this PNM has done for the past 10 years. Today, the PNM are so desperate that they are trying to rehash their propaganda from 10 years ago, all in an effort to have you forget what they did to you over the last 10 years. On Monday, we must reject those 7 fuel prices increases that President Roger talked about. On Monday, we must reject a government that offered you 4% while they increased their pension. Now, I thought Chinese people could count. I know I could count. So I listened to a little video that Stuart Young was, I think he was on a platform saying that how UNC and the coalition of interests and unions starting at 10%, but we at the PNM starting at 5%. So I say, my mother who's 92 years said, David, you hear what Stuart Young saying? She said, I thought Chinese could count. I say, mother, that fella going in reverse. So I always thought 10% was higher than 5%. I don't know where Stuart Young in his math saying 5% better than 10%. I want to tell you, the UNC and the coalition of interest with the union will start the negotiating at 10%. No less than 10%. It is there on the track record. So Stuart Young could come all what he wants to come and say. He is just talking hogwash. Now I have a problem with Stuart Young being the Prime Minister. I'm telling you that here tonight. When you go in the airport and you see the pictures of all past Prime Ministers, it starts from Eric Williams, the amount of years, then George Chambers, then A.N.R. Robinson, and then Mr. Pandey, and then you have Mr. Manning, and then we have our Kamala Prasad Bisesa. It goes in years. It goes in years, my brothers and sisters. And the sad part about that, when we go to the airport on the 29th of April, you will see Stuart Young picture saying from the 17th of March to the 28th of April, 2025. 43 days. That number of 43 days will be under his picture as the length of time he would be Prime Minister of this country, 43 days. And that is what Rowley did to our country. He put a boy in charge to run your affairs. And we must run that boy out of town on the 28th of April, my brothers and sisters. When you look at Stuart Young, now I could talk about Stuart Young. I am the real Chinese. I think I am the real Chinese. I am the real Chinese, right? I don't know about Stuart Young, what genes, what race he has. I am the real deal. I am the real deal. When you look at Stuart Young's track record, in every ministry that he has been over the last 9 years, as President Roger will tell you, it has been failure upon failure upon failure. As I will use President Roger, he was so powerful in his jumping out speech in Naparima College a few weeks ago. And he said, it is not Kamla shut down the petrol train, it is who? The PNM. It is not Kamla took away the wage negotiations from the unions, it was who? The PNM. And the list goes on and on, my brothers and sisters. When you look at Stuart Young's track record in national security, it is a failure. When you look at his track record in the energy sector, it has been a failure. And he wants to come and tell you, well, forget about all of that. We're starting a new chapter. We turn in the book and we're starting a new chapter. So forget about my track record of a failure in national security, a failure in the energy sector, a failure as Gary Sobers. Forget all of that and we'll start a new chapter from the 29th of April. We must say we're not taking none of that. We must say that and vote him out. I want to tell you something. I know it has been a long night and there's much more I would have said as I bring greetings on behalf of the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar and the Coalition of Interest. And I must say, I would like to say thank you to Philip Edward Alexander and his team, the leader of PEP. Philip will fix it with Kamla Prasad-Bissessar on the 29th of April. I want to say thank you to my brother, and he's really my brother. I mean no other than my friend, my brother, the Honorable Prakash Ramada, the leader of the COP. A great, great, decent human being. We have a team, as Philip said, assembled here of decent men and women who has, I don't want to say the word, I think Philip was using anything so. Have the PNM something doing that. Well, I will use the two hands. I think Philip was using one hand. I will use two hands because one is Rowley and one is Stuart Young. Both of them quaking on the 28th of April. So I want to tell you before I end, when the UNC wins, everybody wins. We agree with that? And the PNM is having a problem with that slogan. They are having a problem with that slogan. They cannot take, everywhere you go, you hear people singing the song. When UNC wins, everybody wins. Everywhere we go, you hear that song singing. But I want to dissect it a little bit. Because when UNC win, what you will get in Port of Spain and throughout Trinidad and Tobago, stronger laws to stop noise pollution in residential communities. What is wrong with that? The people are crying out for that. When UNC wins, you know what you'll get? Home visit by doctors from district health centers. Nothing is wrong with that. That is what UNC and the Coalition of Interest will give you. And health centers will be open once more 24/7 in our country. When UNC wins, you know what you'll get? Comfort patrols to safeguard your communities. What you had between 2010 and 2015, where people felt safer in their communities. That is what you will get on the 29th of April, my brothers and sisters. When UNC wins, you know what you'll get? Business approvals easier and faster to make our foreign direct investments come back once more in our country. When UNC wins, you know what you're getting? Lower corporate taxes to expand small and medium businesses. That is what you will get, my brothers and sisters. When UNC wins, you know what you're getting? You're getting free laptops for our students once more in our schools come the 29th of April, my brothers and sisters. When UNC wins, we will reopen the GATE program and expand the scholarship for our young men and women. When UNC wins, children will win with security and safety officers and police presence in schools to stop the violence and the bullying that is taking place in our schools. What is wrong with that? That is what you will get with the coalition of interest. But Stuart Young and Rowley does not want that for you, my brothers and sisters. Stuart Young and Rowley spent over $600 billion in our country over the last 10 years. And you must ask yourself, what did you get for $600 billion that Stuart Young and Rowley wasted in our country? Now, I am sure Stuart Young and Rowley will call my name in the next platform. They love David Lee's name. They love to call my name. Ladies and gentlemen, the tragedy of this country under Stuart Young and Rowley, as I am now the candidate for Caroni Central, and I traverse the constituency for the last 3 weeks, I am looking a little bit toasty. You know, in other words, if you're going to a Chinese restaurant, you might ask for crispy skin something. I looking like that, crispy skin. All right? I have been burnt in the sun for the last 17 or 18 days. As I traverse the constituency of Caroni Central, which is one of the largest landmass constituencies it has, you know how much days a month they get water? 2 days a month, my brothers and sisters. 2 days. Every 15 or 16 days, they get a 6-hour supply of water. They have been living like this for the last 10 years. And I told them, on the 29th of April, with God and Kamla Basad Bissessa and the coalition of interest, you will get a running supply, a better supply than twice a month, my brothers and sisters. I assure them that, and with your help, we will do it. Could you imagine, twice a month you get water? How could you live? And you're asking over 31,000 people in the constituency of Caroni Central to live on twice a month of water. That is a tragedy, that is heartlessness. And I saw Ganga Singh a couple days ago, and I asked Ganga Singh, because when I walked, the people used to say, between 2010 and 2015, they got a better supply of water. And what Ganga Singh told me, who was in charge of WASA, he said that is pure wickedness by this PNM government. That is geographical discrimination that is being carried on by the PNM government in the distribution of water. So could you imagine, simple as water, they are doing that to you. Could you imagine, take God of your thought and give them another 5 years, what they will do to you and this country, my brothers and sisters? You will not know Trinidad and Tobago like how you know it today if you put those people back in. So brothers and sisters, there's not much more I can say tonight. All I will say to you is that on April the 28th at 6 p.m., you will have a new Prime Minister, and none other than the Honorable Kamla Basad Bissessa and her team of the Coalition of Interest. I assure you that. I assure you that, my brothers and sisters. And as I end, for Port of Spain, when UNC win and the Coalition of Interest win, everybody in Trinidad and Tobago wins. I thank you so much. Reach home safe. I know the time is late. I thank you. We love you. Stay tuned. Everybody. 5 more days. 5 more days for salvation. I thank you so much.
Everybody's a winner. Everybody. When UNC win, everybody wins. Everybody's a winner. When UNC win, Trinidad wins. For UNC, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Put your X next to the rising sun. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell a mother, tell a father, it's time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your X by the rising son. If you want to lead a locally proper, place your experience.
Oh yeah.
When UNC
So we got some entertainment, we got some